You know that feeling when your brain is literally running 100 tabs at once? The internal cooling fan is spinning out of control, and you just can't seem to focus on a single thing? If you're nodding your head right now, I want to validate that immediately. You are definitely not alone. Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into the actual neuroscience of why modern life feels so incredibly stressful. But more importantly, we're going to look at how to build real, lasting resilience. We've taken some amazing source material and distilled it down for you today so we can figure out exactly how to rewire our brains for a little more calm, better focus, and just a whole lot more well-being. Let's get into it.
Okay, here's a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover the modern biology mismatch, your brain's secret power, the pillars of brain health, tools for instant calm, and finally, the future of wellness.
All right, Chapter 1, the modern biology mismatch.
To really understand this global burnout epidemic we're all seeing, we have to recognize this massive conflict happening inside our bodies every single day. Look, if you're feeling completely frazzled, that is a totally normal, shared biological response to a highly abnormal environment. We always want to blame ourselves when we can't keep up, right? But your brain is actually just reacting to an unprecedented amount of stimulus.
We are basically walking around with ancient Stone Age biology, but trying to survive in a super high-tech reality. Think about it. Our ancestors didn't have a 24/7 news cycle beaming anxiety straight into their pockets. They definitely didn't have emails pinging at 10 p.m. demanding an immediate reply. It's a fundamental mismatch. We're trying to run this hypermodern software on totally outdated hardware.
And the crucial point here is how this actually affects our nervous system. You can think of it kind of like a car. You've got the sympathetic system, that's your gas pedal. It's that classic fight or flight mode, perfectly designed to help you escape immediate short-term threats. But then you have the parasympathetic system, that's your brake pedal. It is all about rest, digestion, and recovery. So what's the big biological problem today? We are essentially driving our biological cars with the sympathetic gas pedal completely floored all day long. We hardly ever give our bodies a chance to hit those parasympathetic brakes.
Which brings us to Chapter 2, your brain's secret power.
So, if our biology just isn't built for this modern world, are we doomed to be anxious forever? Absolutely not. No way. The answer here is neuroplasticity. For the longest time, science thought our brains were pretty much set in stone after childhood, but we now know that is totally false. Neuroplasticity is your brain's remarkable, lifelong superpower to physically change itself. Literally, every single thing you do, every thought you have, every feeling you experience, it alters the physical structure of your brain. Imagine your brain as a really dense, beautiful green forest. When you learn a new skill or start a new habit, it's kind of like bushwhacking a brand new, faint little dirt trail through those trees. It's tough at first, sure, but the more you walk that exact same path, the wider and clearer it gets, until eventually, it becomes a paved superhighway.
As the saying goes, we are quite literally the architects of our own neural pathways. That repetition is exactly what takes these fragile, short-term chemical blips and turns them into permanent structural upgrades in your brain. You actually have the power to pave the roads you want to travel on.
Let's move on to Chapter 3, Pillars of Brain Health.
If we really want to widen those positive trails in the forest, it boils down to 3 foundational pillars. And the first one is the number 6. 6 hours is your absolute bare minimum target for sleep. The science here is crystal clear. We've got to stop treating sleep like it's just this passive resting state. It is an incredibly active maintenance phase. While you're asleep, your brain is actually scrubbing out all the toxic gunk that built up during the day. It's also when neuroplasticity does its heavy lifting, locking short-term memories into permanent structures. If you get less than 6 hours, you're literally waking up with a brain that hasn't finished resetting itself.
So, sleep is pillar 1. Pillar 2 is exercise. And I absolutely love how neuroscientist Dr. Laura Boyd describes this. She literally calls exercise rocket fuel for your brain. Why? Because even super short bursts of movement massively increase your brain's excitability. It makes your neural pathways infinitely more receptive to learning and changing. You're priming your brain to build those new superhighways. And finally, rounding out our pillars, we have diet. We are keeping this incredibly simple. Just eat the rainbow. Different colored fruits and veggies contain different vitamins and building blocks. By eating a wide spectrum of colors, you're giving your brain the full spectrum of physical tools it needs to thrive.
Next up, Chapter 4, Tools for Instant Calm.
So what do you do when that 24/7 modern anxiety suddenly flares up and you need an immediate reset right then and there? First up is a micro tool called Being Still. It's just a quick 3-step mental pause. Step 1, notice the feeling or the thought without fighting it. Just acknowledge it's there. Step 2, imagine you're sitting above it, observing it from a bird's-eye view without any judgment at all. And step 3, from that calm, zoomed-out perspective, consciously decide what you want to do next. I know, it sounds like a tiny intervention, but this little pause completely short-circuits your mental autopilot. It creates a massive amount of mental space right when you need it the most.
But beyond managing our internal thoughts, external connection is absolutely huge for instant calm. Check this out. According to the famous Harvard aging study, chronic loneliness has a physical health impact roughly equivalent to smoking. Just let that sink in for a second. That is wild. We are a profoundly social species. External connection isn't just a nice-to-have bonus, it's a biological necessity. It is literally one of the most powerful regulators we have for bringing our nervous system back down to that parasympathetic state of calm.
And hey, if you want a tool that rolls several of these ideas into one, really simple, totally free action, just take a gentle walk outside in nature. It's so basic, but it is so profound. It engages your senses, it gives you a quick burst of that movement rocket fuel, and it directly kickstarts your parasympathetic recovery system. It's accessible, it's effective, and honestly, it works almost instantly to get your foot off that gas pedal.
Finally, Chapter 5, The Future of Wellness.
As we're learning all these amazing things about how our brains actually work, it's creating this massive macro-level societal shift in how we approach health. For years, the big buzzword was biohacking. You know the vibe, right? Forcing the body to perform, maximizing output at literally all costs, drinking butter coffee so you can grind for 18 hours straight. But that just burns out our ancient biology. Now we're seeing a much-needed shift toward bioharmonization. This is a far more sustainable approach. It focuses on fostering real resilience, actually regulating our nervous systems, and working with our biology instead of constantly fighting against it.
What's really fascinating here is how technology and design are catching up to this bioharmonization trend in some seriously cool ways. For instance, we're now seeing wearable neurotech that basically acts like noise cancellation, but for your brain. They read your brainwaves and use subtle sound pulses to guide you into deep sleep or sharp focus, and it's totally chemical-free. We're also seeing the rise of neuroaesthetics. This is an incredible field where homes, offices, and even entire cities are intentionally designed to naturally lower our stress and support physical brain health, simply by the way they look and feel.
So here's the biggest takeaway. Neuroplasticity isn't just some switch you flip on and off. It is happening constantly. In fact, it is happening right now, inside your head, just from listening to this explainer and engaging with these concepts. Your brain is physically changing in this exact moment, creating new pathways. So, since you are the architect here, what path will you guide your brain down next? Keep building those positive superhighways. Thanks so much for joining me today to explore the amazing neuroscience of resilience. See you next time.
Everything we covered today is backed by rigorous research, from clinical studies on neuroplasticity to the latest in neurowellness. Our expert sources and masterclasses are on screen and linked below. To all the educators and families watching, let's stop letting modern stress floor our gas pedal. Start practicing bioharmonization today by using that simple 3-step mental pause or by prioritizing that crucial 6-hour sleep minimum. To help reshape how we learn and live, hit subscribe, share this video with someone who needs a breather, and let's rewire our brains for calm together. See you next time.